It's engaging. It's Chattin' with Chelsea. She's daytime's new bestie. Here's your host, Chelsea Edwards.
Come back to me. I've got the feeling. Come back.
Gotta back it up a little bit, get on my spot, all right? Welcome, besties, to another episode of Chattin' with Chelsea. I'm your daytime bestie, Chelsea Edwards, and school's out! For most of us, all right? So some of us are already watching the kids do cartwheels, summer camps are kicking off, and parents, we're just trying to remember what it was like to have the house all to ourselves. So we're looking forward to lots of fun this summer, but we have to keep in mind it could also be a really dangerous time of year with kids at home alone and doing their own thing, and then also into some programs. So we are going to chat about how to vet summer camps and programs and keep your kids safe while they're at home. We're gonna get you together on that. But parents, you know, just when you thought you had a break, you've got summer homework to do. So maybe you're still thinking about where your kids are gonna be in the fall. Don't panic, it is not too late, but time is of the essence. So we are gonna get you together in that area as well. Go ahead and grab an iced coffee because we wanna put that on the top of your list. It is a priority, especially if your kid's school year went like this.
How's the worksheet going?
Oh, good.
I don't see anything written on the page.
I'm doing it in my head.
Okay, we can go with that. Some of us, and I'm not going to name names, are falling behind the rest of the class. Some of us need a little extra help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Jason, come here. Do not be discouraged. You can only go up from here. Nobody else knows that you got the lowest grade in the class. If one of us fails, we all fail. So when you're deciding between watching White Lotus and studying, remember this face. Remember this face. Why would you want to hurt me? Jason, you remind me of my dog. He's kind. He learns in different ways. Sometimes he doesn't even learn at all. He's a little dumb. Bye-bye, have a great summer. Jason, I need to speak with you. Jason, come here. I just want to say, I'm so excited to have you in my class next year. Second time's a charm.
Second time's a charm. Welcome, Julie Blumberg of Houston School Options. I mean, we're hoping for better.
Yes,
but
we
you know,
are.
some kids do have to come back around, and maybe the parents actually want to put them in a different school. Maybe they think they'll thrive better there. Do you get a lot of parents thinking about this over the summer?
We do. We have both. We have parents who have just realized all of a sudden can't go back. Or maybe the school's told them, sorry, you can't come back.
Oh, wow. Why would that happen?
Maybe some behavior choices,
Okay,
but also
all right.
maybe, you know, just parents realizing there's a better learning environment for them, right? And so we work with families who are in that situation and needing a school for August. Summer's also a great time to start prepping for even the following school year. Because your kids are going to start school back in August, and then guess what? It's admission season for August of 2026 already.
Oh my gosh. I already felt like the year was flying by. You just made it worse, Julie.
I'm sorry.
So it's not too late to go ahead and start this process if we do want to switch schools for August.
Yeah, it's not too late. It's really important for families to explore all of their options, and that's what, you know, an educational consultant can work with families to do, because so often you go to what you know. You go to where your besties' kids are, right? Or where your sister's kids go, or where their siblings go. And sometimes that's not a fit for every kid.
Yeah.
And so we really work with those families to identify what is right for each individual child.
Okay, so you're an education matchmaker.
I am.
What are some things that you need to know about the child to be able to match them to a good school for them?
Sure. What are their interests?
Okay.
What kind of learner they are, what the family's background is as well. You know, it really depends per child. And so we have a plethora of questions that we go through. We look at old reports if the child's old enough, report cards, testing, all different pieces.
All right, a lot of moving parts.
A lot of moving parts.
But you have to find the right fit.
Exactly.
Is that harder to do in the summer because all of the staff's not there, the teachers aren't there, you can't speak to the person who might actually be instructing your child?
Sure. Admissions directors usually work year-round. You know, they'll take some sort of a break in the summer, or a registrar at a public school. But that's kind of where a consultant can come in and be helpful, because we have contacts with those people, knowing spacing in schools, what's available, who has space, who definitely does not, just really navigating. It's a lot of phone calls, a lot of moving parts, as you said, but no, it's not impossible. And it's, there's a lot of different types of schools too. So really figuring out what type of school is best for my child. Is it traditional? Is it a faith-based school, a secular school, a Montessori school, a Reggio Emilia school? All different types of learning environments, homeschool, hybrid school.
Oh,
goes
my
on.
goodness. Oh, it goes on and on. Okay, we do have to get into that. Break that down for us.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick break, though, because I might need to get a pen and paper for this. There's a lot to go over, okay? But we're going to do it for you, okay? You guys keep it here. We'll be right back after this.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible? From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher. He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me? Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that? Ain't he alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off
We are given the platform here with no fear.
always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up. You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
We've got Julie Blumberg here with Houston School Options, helping us sort out all the options that we have. I mean, we were just talking during break, and there are a lot of options.
It's a lot.
So you have public, you have private, you have charter, all that. What are some things that parents can, research or just ask themselves to try to narrow it down some?
Yeah, sure. And I mean, we were talking also about how do you know if you need this change, and if, are you getting feedback from the school that things maybe aren't going right? Are you getting feedback from your kid more than just, I don't want to go to school, that's a little, you've got to read.
All say that.
Yes, exactly. They want mom time, they want TV time. But what about, what feedback are you getting from the schools? What's working, what's not? What kinds of grades are coming home if they're in a grade-based school, where they're getting grades? Are they having trouble sitting in their chair? Well, then maybe you want to look for a school where they can get up, move around, work from the floor, and they're not having the expectation of sitting in their desk facing forward with the teacher at the front of the room. There's all different learning styles for kids like that.
So whatever kinds of challenges your child might have been having at one school, it may help them in another.
Yeah, children should be happy going to school. We get families coming to us who say, my child is miserable. If that word is coming to mind, then it's time to start looking.
Wow, okay, so you mentioned learning styles. Like I went through this choosing a daycare.
Yeah.
So I found that my son does not need all the freedom in a Montessori school.
Right.
There are different styles as well that people may not be aware of.
Exactly. So we have so many different types of schools. We have the public, and as we were saying, in public, there's zone schools that's right down your street, but then you can also many districts have choice programs or magnet programs that you can go to a different school in your district that's still a public school. There's charter schools, as you mentioned, each specializing in something different. We have private schools then, and within the private school realm, there is a lot. There's the traditional private school, as I said, faith-based and secular.
Oh.
There's Montessori, as you mentioned, Reggio Emilio. There's hybrid. I said a word you didn't know.
Yeah,
okay.
Now who is Reggio?
Reggio Emilio is a project-based, inquiry-driven program that kids get to do work within the realm of what the class is interested in. And so they're learning based on the interest. And so it's project-based, a lot of building, modeling with clay, making videos, you know, instead of just doing those worksheets.
Wow. Okay. All right. So let's say we narrow it down and then we start touring schools.
Yes.
Are there certain things we should look for to help narrow it down further?
Absolutely. You getting into the schools in the summer, it's a little bit harder to get in with kids there, but still just getting a feel of the environment. How's the classroom set up? Is it straight desks across, or are there different tables and bouncy chairs and different things for the kids who need that? What is the administration like? You know, are they friendly? Are they stopping when kids are in the school greeting? Are they greeting the kids by names? A lot of parents obviously want to look at safety, as they should. Checking safety. Are they closing doors behind you? Are there a lot of entry points? Are they checking your ID? You're a stranger in the school. What does it feel like to you getting into that school?
What would you say it says about a school if the administration treats you a certain way?
Well, we always say that, you know, look at the teachers, look at how they're interacting with the kids, of course, because that's who's going to be having the FaceTime with your kids. But it's this feel, it's this gut instinct and feel that you get when you go into a school that you want to really rely on. And so if you are getting a feeling from someone who you've interacted that doesn't feel good to you and you're getting a better feeling somewhere else, that's the better option. You also want to keep doors open. You don't want to narrow down and just want this one school, because it might not work. It might not work out. Your child may not get accepted because of space, because the school doesn't feel that it's the right fit. We always say when a school says no, say thank you, because you don't want to get in and have your child there and then be trying to crawl out and figure out how to get out of the hole that they're in and make things work. You want it to really, truly, genuinely work for your child.
Okay, so we also have a lot of parents who might be relocating and they may not be able to do all the in-person visits that they want. They're doing a lot of research online. What do they do? Do they really focus so much on what they see online?
So you don't want to focus on online reviews. We compare those to restaurant reviews. You have the people who have had really great experiences and then people who have had horrible experiences, and you don't really get the in-between. Talking to current families who are there is a great thing that you could ask to do. Schools are really great about working with families who are relocating, and they use Zoom, they have virtual tours. They got pretty good with that during COVID.
Okay.
They had to. So then they've kept that up for relocating families, because, you know, families can't choose when they're relocating. It's not the kids' fault, so these kids need schools. And so that's another big search that happens in the summer for families who are relocating and didn't know they were relocating before.
Okay, what are our deadlines? Like, when do we have to make a decision?
Oh, that's
other than
past.
now. Like,
yeah. So the typical admission season happens in the fall. This August, applications will open up and tours will open up for August of 26.
Okay.
So it's really helpful if families spend the summer doing their research, getting to know what schools they want to visit, going to visit, booking the tours, getting the applications done. Typically deadlines are anywhere November, December, January. Some schools vary though. All the details are on each individual school's website. And then schools typically let families know in the springtime of who's been admitted or not. A few schools have rolling admission, which means they let families in as they apply, as they have space. But when they are on deadlines, the deadline is typically in March, around March, we'll say on average, and then families have to accept their spot around April. So then now at this point in time, when families are doing that emergency search that we're talking about, schools do know how many students do we have in this grade, how much space do we have, what does this cohort look like, and what will this learning profile, how will it fit into the current group that we have.
Okay, all right. So many things to think about and get ready for. We don't get a break. That's what I learned from this, Julie. We don't get a break. All right, we are going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back and help you figure out if your summer camp or summer program is cool for your kids.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
Rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher. He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me? Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that? Ain't he alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
With school out, many kids will be left at home alone, or they'll be put into camps and programs where, let's be honest, the safety standards and the rules can be all over the place. So, here to make sure that our kids are safe, Karen Kennard with the Children's Assessment Center. Okay, a lot can happen over the summer. It can be dangerous. So when we're putting our kids into like these camps and these programs, and many parents have already done that, like, is it too late to ask certain questions and make sure they're good?
No, it's never too late.
Okay.
Right? So they need to speak with them to find out things like their protection policies. How do they report any type of abuse? Do they do background checks? Ask the questions. Don't ever be afraid. These camps are going to have your children with them, and you want to make sure that they are safe. Also, trainings. Have they had the appropriate trainings to make sure that the children are safe?
What should we be looking for when we ask what kinds of trainings these counselors
we want to make
have been
sure the counselors and the staff have reporting laws training for their state, CPR training, things like that, first aid training. But you also want to make sure that they know how to handle reporting abuse, whether it's sexual violence, physical abuse, both internally as well as externally.
So these counselors or teachers or whoever, they would have gone through individual training or group training specifically on how to report that something could be wrong.
Yes, the camps are required to make sure that their staff have had that type of training. So you want to look out for that. You want to make sure, again, checking with them, even if you have to go back, maybe you've already enrolled a child, go back and make sure that they've done background checks. They've done their due diligence to make sure that the people that are going to be with your child are safe individuals.
Now, does it matter, are we asking about a specific background check, how deep they go or anything like that?
Criminal background check.
Okay.
Okay, they can also do the, local background checks, but definitely criminal background checks.
All right, so then, let's say we're good there. We got the check.
Okay.
Anything else that we should be looking for?
Many of your camp counselors are going to be young, so making sure the supervision. Ask about how the children and staff are being supervised at the different camps. What are your policies and procedures when it comes to supervising the children at the camp? Are they, you can say, are they alone at any time? Or how do you keep them from being alone and unsupervised? How many children does one camp counselor have to supervise or, manage? So you want to know things like that. Because it's 1 to 20, that's pretty large. And it's not a lot of supervision that's going to go on with that.
You mentioned looking up records, like on the state website. So wherever people are, whatever state they're in, there should be something online to see if there have been incidents or any issues with these.
If it's a licensed camp, yes. If there's any reports, there will be a place you can go online to see those. Also, just social media online. People like to put out their complaints online. So you want to check to see if there's anything out there on that camp negative that you should be concerned about.
Okay, so if we look them up, could there be a concern if a camp operated under one name and then they were under another name this year? They switched it up. Have you seen anything like that before?
I have not, but if you have the old name, I would definitely look up the old name as well as the current name of the camp when I'm doing my search, my background search on that camp.
Okay. What about emergency procedures? Like worst case scenario, we don't want our kids, you know, falling and breaking anything. But
that's a fair question to the camp. Ask them about what are their protocols and procedures when it comes to emergency situations. Maybe something unforeseen happens at the camp. What is their protocol? That's a fair question. As well as how do they notify the parents? You know, are they going to send a text or email or a phone call? You need to know things like that because something, you know, you don't want it to ever happen, but what if? If it does happen, you need to be secure in knowing that if something happens, this is how they're going to get in contact with me.
Yes. Okay, so let's switch it up. Let's talk about the kids who are going to be at home all alone. Okay, they can get into trouble themselves as well, right?
Right. So it's very important that we talk to our children, right? And make them part of the conversation. No one likes to be talked at. And our children are a lot more intelligent than we give them credit for. And they're constantly getting training, safety training on things like the internet and computers. Let them be a part of the conversation. You definitely want to review these things with them, especially if they're at home by themselves, because they have a lot of time on their hands. And that computer is in the house, that cell phone is with them at all times. So you want to review the safety information with them, but let them share what they know also.
Okay, because I'd be tempted to just unplug everything and turn off everything because I don't know. I just don't want anything to happen while I'm not here.
And they know how to turn it off.
They know, they know where the power button is. Right?
So, you know, open that conversation with them. Talk about the dangers with them, the what ifs, making sure that if something does happen when they're online or if they're on their cell phones, let them know, number one, that you're there for them, making sure that if they don't feel comfortable coming to you right away, talk about the other safe adults in their lives that they can feel comfortable going to. But you want to have that conversation with them, but also listen to them because they have knowledge that they want to share, and that makes them a part of the conversation. And many times we can learn from what they know. So make it a conversation between the two of you, not just talking at them, because they are very familiar with computers and cell phones, and they have a lot to share that we can learn as parents also from them. But having that open conversation with them and discussing the things, the dangers that are online, discussing not sharing things like pictures, especially not nude pictures to friends, no matter who they are, discussing how that's unsafe and that they can't do that. People asking them to meet them or asking too much information, personal information, like addresses and phone numbers, and, you know, trying to get into contact with them. It's very important you have that conversation, but also listen to what they have to say. And the reason why you're having the conversation. They, like I said, they're very intelligent. They're your child.
They're smarty pants, so we definitely want to keep them out of trouble.
Yes, we do.
Appreciate it so much, Karen. Great advice. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with our final thoughts.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
Shut the hell up. You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Hey, besties.
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time.
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
I get the spiritual moments.
Chattin' with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
I want to thank you for watching this episode of Chattin' with Chelsea, and thank you ladies for coming to make sure our kids are in the right spots for the summer and the fall. Okay, Karen, any final thoughts from you?
Yes, let's think about those babysitters and the nannies also. Do the in-person interviews. Also talk to your child, do some check-ins, especially if you're not familiar with that babysitter. So talk to them. If you have not started being with that babysitter, do some in-person, not only for you, but also the child, so you can see the interaction and trust your gut.
Okay, all right, we'll keep it going. Julie?
Yeah, remember, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Finding the right school for your child, it's a very individualized, each individualized child. And if it feels overwhelming to anybody, they can reach out to an educational consultant, help be that third party that's not a parent, give that outside perspective.
All right, appreciate it so much. So
Thank
helpful.
you.
Okay, you can keep up with us on social at Chelsea Show Fox. We'll see you on the next Chattin' with Chelsea.
Ready to lose track of time the best way possible?
Rolling!
From the funniest videos to the wildest things online, we do the scrolling so you don't have to.
It's Usher. He had that synthetic hair melting. You hear me? Why y'all talking about that lady hair like that? Ain't he alone?
Catch us every weeknight, 7 p.m. Central on Fox Soul.
Louder for the people in the back.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie. Nailed it. We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off.
We are given the platform here with no fear.
Always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, Stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And shut the hell up. You interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Coming up on We Sound Crazy.
The first day we actually came back to speak was the clip that they showed online. That was the first time that we had
the promo clip?
Yeah, that was like a few weeks ago. That was the first time that we really sat down and spoke since the TV show went off air.
Was it awkward?
We Sound Crazy. He is one half of the duo Louis York and an award-winning songwriter.
Yes, sir. It's Claude Kelly.
He is award-winning songwriter and other half of the dynamic duo Louis York.
What's up, y'all? It's Chuck Harmony.
Music executive and Renaissance man.
Hey, it's Billionaire.
Music aficionado.
What's up? It's Timon Bacon from Macon.
We Sound Crazy is your official backstage pass to all things music and culture.
On tonight's episode of We Sound Crazy, we are talking with Grammy Award-winning singer, songwriter, and producer Kandi Burruss.